Did you see the theory about how the U.S. could run low on weapons for its assault on Iran because it just cost us more?
Yeah.
This is Afghanistan with the Russians again.
Right. They punched themselves out.
So like somebody told me that like Afghanistan was the Russians' Vietnam.
I can see that.
Right. So basically the Russians are like sending these like, military helicopters to go fight a war with people who are like literally hiding in caves. And then I think the Americans were arming them with rocket launchers that could take out these helicopters. And each helicopter costs fucking $20 million and each rocket launcher costs, $10,000. So if you just do the math, eventually you're like, okay, this is no longer worth it. And I think that's the situation where people are presenting for Iran, which is like, if it costs $1 million every time we shoot down one of these drones, it's $20,000.
Yeah.
You do the math. As long as they can keep making drones or keep launching them, it's just going to be too costly. Will we run out of missiles? I don't know. But
Iran ain't even got to their good shit yet, bro.
So they say. The question is, have we limited their capacity to launch it?
I thought we did that last summer.
Oh, yeah. But listen,
I thought we did that last summer.
So when the war starts, the first casualty is the truth.
God damn.
So you can't believe anything you see.
Okay, there's so many things that you can point to say that pisses you off about this situation, right? Schultz, you are a big anti-war guy.
Huge.
Right? My biggest issue, I'm not going to say biggest, but the problem I have is I don't want American government and American elected officials beholden to anybody but the American people. I don't care if it's Putin in Russia. I don't care if it's Bibi in Israel. I don't want us doing the bidding of anybody except for I don't want the American government doing the bidding of anybody except for the American people.
And I think that's the thing here that the American people are trying to understand. They're like, how is this beneficial to us? Right? Like, and you hear the people trying to put out the propaganda, which is they've chanted death to America. And it's just like, I don't want, no country should be chanting death to America, by the way. Okay. We don't want that we're not pro that. Right. But like, they're going to have nuclear weapons. The reality is like, you could tell me all these statistics and facts, but if the American people themselves, if we do not have an existential threat from the country of Iran, it's going to be very hard to get support for a war against them. And I don't know if the average American is walking around afraid of Iran. Do you guys think that exists here in America?
How can they reboot a script for a war?
But
but only not in a like conventional army sense. I mean, I'm afraid of any country or anybody that could unleash individual terrorists against the country.
Of course, but I think Americans are afraid that they're not going to be able to afford healthcare. I think Americans are afraid they're not going to be able to buy a house. I think Americans are afraid that they're not going to be able to continue working at their job because it's going to be replaced by AI. So if you want to hear about a government spending hundreds of billions of dollars, you would hope that those hundreds of billions of dollars are going to work on those fears that America have, not this existential threat that you still have to convince us.
Low on our list.
Yes,
but let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
very high on somebody else's list.
Absolutely,
right.
Yeah.
So
say the person's name.
The great nation of Israel, and I think we're at a very dangerous moment, especially for Jews in America, because
Chris, say that you're Jewish, just for people who just.
For those who don't know, I am a Jew. Jewish support in America, or I should say America's support for Israel has always just been like a given, right? For the last 50 years. Like it's just been sort of accepted. They are going to be our closest ally in the region, arguably one of our closest allies across the world, period. I don't know if it's ever fully been under a microscope, right? It is under a fucking microscope right now. And, I think I might have said to you, like, I think they're out over their skis at the moment. And, I want to be very careful in the phrasing. This isn't about Jews specifically in America. It's not even necessarily about the state of Israel. It is very specifically about the Netanyahu government, which is a very aggressive government, which is a right-wing government that's been corrupted and was frankly on its way out before October 7th with the possibility that he would have wound up in jail.
Why does nobody talk about that?
It's a very real situation.
I'm like, why is nobody talking about it? I knew that already.
And you got a dangerous situation where, in my opinion, you have two leaders with nothing to lose who might potentially be facing jail or some sort of repercussion for how they're moving. And that's a dangerous combo. They're going to make moves that I don't think a whole lot of other people would have made. And you don't know what to believe, because the story was last summer, I think it was, hey, we bombed their shit. That was crazy at the moment.
Yeah.
We've sent these incredible bunker.
We obliterated their nuclear capabilities.
It's over.
Can we talk about that for a moment? Because there was an interesting thing that happened back then. We obliterated their nuclear capabilities, supposedly, which they were very easily got them back up and running within weeks, and now they're weeks away from another nuclear bomb. Okay, whatever. They did a retaliatory attack. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
They attacked a base. Where was it? In
Somewhere in the middle. It was light, appropriately light.
It was a tit for tat.
But what was interesting is after that, there was no further retaliation.
That's what they thought this was going to be. I really believe that.
Well, I'm curious your thoughts on it then, because what I thought about that moment was, I felt that basically the U.S. let them save face, right? They're like, yo, we're going to take out your nuclear capabilities, right? You're saying death to America. We're worried about you nuking us. Who knows if that's even real? Maybe it's Israel's worried about them nuking them and we're doing it for them. But they go to attack us. They let us know before the attack happens, and then we let them save face. And then it's just, and I looked at that and I go, oh, wow, maybe we don't want to go to war with Iran. Maybe we are going to prioritize not having boots on the ground in a foreign country and trying to bomb them into regime change, which has never happened in the history of the world.
Right.
Maybe. And then this happens and it's like, all right, they're fucking off.
It don't even make no sense. I mean,
like what?
The thing I hate the most is how Americans get screwed. I mean, number one, of course, the guy.
Can I say one thing real quick? Because I hear all these people saying justifications for it online. They're like, well, what is it called? Iran state-sponsored terror has killed 1,000 Americans over the last whatever years. Iran state-sponsored terror have tried to kill President Trump.
And oppressing the people.
And they're oppressing. But like, what I don't understand is all these things happened before when we struck the nuclear facility.
Right.
What has changed between then and now?
I can tell you what changed.
Well, but do you understand what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden this propaganda is coming out where like we had to do this because of what they've done.
Well, I will say there have been a lot of people who have always been speaking out for the people of Iran and have actually been screaming and begging for America to intervene.
Let's be very clear.
And get rid of the leadership in Iran.
I don't think there's, again, I can't speak for all Americans, but I doubt there's anybody in America that doesn't want the people of Iran to be liberated from an incredibly oppressive regime. The question is it worth thousands and thousands of American lives and hundreds of billions of American taxpayer dollars to do it?
Yeah, and I just think it's wild when I hear people. I think it's wild when I hear people who are in support of the Iranian people, and they say, I want them to get a taste of the democracy that we've experienced here in America. Sure. But can we also acknowledge that our democracy here in America is looking very shaky right now?
Yeah, you don't want this version.
No.
There's a better version of this.
Like
this is better than what you got now.
The guy you're cheering to go do it is literally threatening our democracy.
But I guess
here.
What I said is I wouldn't be critical of a person who is Persian, right? Who like wants to see their family liberated. Like my criticism is not of you. I completely get that. I understand that. The question then is like, I also don't begrudge any American that's like, why the fuck are we doing this when I can't even afford to buy a house? Bro, how do we all of a sudden have hundreds of billions of dollars for this war that I don't even understand how it benefits us at all, and I don't feel any existential threat from this country?
That's the basic thing, right? The basic thing is like Tupac said, they got money for war but can't feed the poor. But then you got the fact that there was no plan. Like there wasn't even no plan for the Iranian people. We're going to get these leaders out and then, the people will take over. What does that even mean? Number one. Number two, what about all of these people stuck in all of these countries? That's how you know it wasn't no plan. That's how you know none of this was really, truly premeditated. This is some spur of the moment shit. Because why wouldn't they get our people out of Israel and Dubai?
So real quick, Chris. Yeah. So what has changed, right? Because this is the stuff that I hear people that are supportive of this saying, right? They're like, they tried to kill Trump, right? Which you should never try to attempt to assassinate a leader of the United States of America, any foreign country.
Did he give an example of how, though?
Again, I'm going off of what they're I don't want to call it propaganda, but let's just whatever. The war propaganda. So all the things that they're saying existed before we took out the nuclear facility. What has changed from then till now that we need to do this
A cash
decisive action?
transfer.
I mean, I'm just
cash transfer
on the table.
Is it a fair question that I'm asking? Like, if it was so, if these things,
this is the most like the brightest version I can paint of it.
yeah,
Iran is at a historically weak moment in that remember, they're Shiite Muslims. They're not Sunni Muslims.
Yeah.
They're the minorities in the Muslim world. So they're essentially only have but so many allies to start with.
Right.
Syria was a very close major ally. Iran supports Hamas,
right,
Hezbollah.
yeah. No, there's no
Those guys are all
the Houthis.
Houthi.
Yeah,
Syria is over. Hamas is essentially destroyed. Hezbollah is like barely there. This was the moment where if you were a country that saw Iran as an existential threat, this is the moment to make your move. They're never probably going to be this weak again. The problem is the country who sees that is Israel. So what has happened between the relationship with Israel and America that suddenly we felt obliged to move with them because essentially we're their sponsor. We give them their military budget. We pour billions of dollars into them. We should be calling the shot in every situation. There's a famous moment, I think it was with Clinton, like when he was talking to Netanyahu and, I think Netanyahu, it was Sharon, but one of the presidents, was like trying to boss him out. He's like, who's the fucking superpower here? We're the superpower. We're calling the shots. We don't seem to be calling the shots at the moment. And the problem is I would even welcome some bullshit messaging where they make a case.
they don't lie us in the war no more, yo.
They didn't even
lie us in the war, bro.
They didn't even try with this one. They didn't even try with the propaganda.
Bush went through the whole yellow cake and the Colin Powell.
The war on terror
yes.
and all that. No, they don't. They go, Venezuela got oil, we're taking it. Greenland got rare earths, we're taking it. And now with Iran, they don't even have a thing that we're taking. Right? Like, they don't even say, hey, we're going to Iran, we get the oil. Say again?
We don't even get a trailer, bro.
I don't even know what that means.
They just dropped the movie and expect us to go see it, bro.
Yeah.
Like the day of.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even
warm us up a little bit.
warm us up a little bit.
Before World War II, the King of England came here eating hot dogs, right? Like they had to find a way to get American support into shit. And I think now with the way that like information is disseminated, it's like democratized, so like people can say stuff. So you don't have every single news program just spouting the same fucking bullshit, right? Now they can't exactly lie us in.
Bro, they made Colin Powell go explain his case in front of the UN, right? He had to go. They sold it to us. I think I read a statistic that said 70% of all people during that time literally believed Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. 30%. I don't know if this is their exact number, but it's around the range. 30% thought it was some complete bullshit. Right now, I saw numbers that say it's the complete opposite. 30% are like, believe it, and 70% are like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
And also, let's stop being frivolous with American lives. 4 Americans have died, right? 4 Americans have died.
That we know of.
That we know of.
I have no reason to believe that number is only 4 people.
Fair. I think that they, whatever, doesn't matter. I wouldn't.
I think it might be up to 6 now.
Or maybe it's 6 up to, okay. But my point is like 0 American lives should be taken if you don't have an excuse for us to even go do this. Like, not a single American should be dead if you're not even willing to give us a reason why we should be going to do this.
And if the whole world...
How disrespectful is that to Americans? The people that not only put in a bill for this, but also risking their lives for us, that you don't even give us the dignity of an excuse to do it?
And what's so sad is when the whole...
All of y'all got to get out of here.
What's sad is when the whole world and Americans are looking at the situation and we know the reason. Because... you're beholden to Bibi Netanyahu. We don't know why. We don't know if it's because of you're getting paid, allegedly. We don't know if we just know you're compromised in some way. And I would say it again. I don't want any American elected official being beholden to anybody but the American people. Like, I don't give a fuck who it is.
You know what? I think Iran took away the excuse that the U.S. was going to use because during the protest in December and January, Trump was talking like, hey, if you don't stop killing protesters, we are going to come and like defend them. Like we are going to get involved. And we already started sending a lot of those, the boats, what are the military boats? We started sending them there during that time. And then Iran all of a sudden just stopped killing protesters. So it took away the excuse we were probably going to use to attack.
I don't know if that's true. They killed thousands of protesters.
No, but
he
Trump,
said that
Trump was
before.
like, no, I'm talking, this was while they were killing them.
Oh.
It happened in December and January. And then they stopped killing protesters.
I don't know if they stopped doing it because Trump said it or they stopped it because they killed enough that it thwarted the protests. That's what I think.
No, I think the protests are still going on. And people were requesting that America come and liberate them.
Right.
Let's play this and then go to Asking Idiots, man. This is
This has never been about nuclear weapons.
Hold on.
This has been about Israel's regional hegemony.
This is Jeffrey Sachs, the American economist. Listen to this.
This has never been about nuclear weapons. This has been about Israel's regional hegemony in the Middle East. Israel wants to topple the Iranian regime, period. It has said so. This is not a mystery. This is not my claim. This is Israeli policy repeated year in, year out. The whole idea that Trump is negotiating to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, duh. That was negotiated. Trump ripped it up. The Iranians have come back every year to say, we don't want a nuclear weapon. We want negotiations. The United States does not accept yes for an answer because it works for the government of Israel. This is the point. Why does it work for the government of Israel? It's a little hard to understand. Maybe because it's of Mike Hucklebee's parishioners, because of people who read the Bible and say, okay, that's our foreign policy. That's possible. It may be because of what's in the Epstein files that haven't been released. It may be blackmail. It may be corruption. It may be many other things, but it is not about America's interests. We have no interest whatsoever in going to a war with Iran right now.
Yeah,
if there is such a war, it's a war because Israel has told the United States what to do. And that raises a question. Why has the United States done what Israel has told the United States to do for 30 years? And I don't just mean about Iran. I mean across the Middle East.
Inquiring minds want to know, guys.
So I said this like jokingly, but kind of serious on Flagrant. America should annex Israel the same way like we want to take over Greenland and just take all of Venezuela's resources. Like if they had to start paying taxes and we got
But see, I agree with Chris. I don't
intelligent-
think you should punish the whole state of Israel because of
why would that be
having a
punishment?
madman in charge.
well, why would that be punishment to be part of
I don't even know
America?
what annex means. to be honest.
It's
I don't even, it
It's-
just sounds
it's
like
a
you-
punishment.
What he wants to do to Greenland, right?
It's a punishment because it would go against what the desire for having your own nation state is. That's why they would see it as a punishment.
Well, it would also keep us literally physically vested in like the most volatile place in the earth.
That's
And
another-
We're doing it already.
but we don't need to.
Can I ask y'all a question?
But that's the thing. If
All right.
we're going to
Can I
do
ask
it, at
y'all a
least
serious
we would
question?
get something out of
You
it.
may ask us a serious.
Does Israel need regime change, Chris?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, Netanyahu is taking them to the brink right now, and I don't know. They probably see it differently. I understand if you lived in Israel, my cousin lives in Israel, his family lives in Israel. I'm sure they are legitimately afraid of the threat of Iran. I get all that.
That's also reasonable
It's
for
not
them to be afraid of it.
It's
Like,
not unreasonable,
Yeah.
but even with like what Sachs was saying, like the diplomatic attempt to solve this. This is when Trump hires or assigns unqualified people to important jobs just because they're yes men. We're seeing the results of that right now. Who are the special envoys? Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner.
yeah, but right now you're bailing out Trump, kind of. It's like
I know,
he's-
but I'm
he's
just-
ultimately.
I don't think so.
But
My point is that
these are
like.
real estate guys.
Yes, I know. I guess what I'm saying is like ultimately he's the responsible party for the decision.
Oh, I'm
And
just
it's like,
showing you
we're not
how
skirting-
incompetent he is.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Because he doesn't care about putting the best people. I'm not saying a seasoned 50-year veteran of these conversations might have landed us in a different place. But when you literally send in your real estate buddies into the most volatile place of the world,
Crazy.
And American lives are at stake.
with American like
6 Americans died, bro. Like this is what I think we've
Pete
become.
Hegseth.
We've
He's a
become
fucking Fox News guy, man. He
Yeah.
shouldn't be the Secretary of War. Why isn't this shit working?
guys. I think we've become desensitized to the amount of deaths in war, right? Like we hear these staggering numbers coming out of Gaza, staggering numbers coming out of Ukraine, Russia. It's like,
Bro, think about the girls in Iran. What they said, 151 girls got killed.
167 girls.
167 girls. Like we just just think about that. You got daughters, we got kids. They're in school. Just think about that. Your kids.
So this is the argument that people make why you can't bomb people into regime change. Bombing people is going to actually unite them against the party that's bombing them. Yeah.
By the way,
they're going to rally.
Yeah. Oh.
By the way, for generation, not just for the
100%.
moment, for generations, it's up. Murder Inc. versus 50 Cent.
Yeah.
It's up
Yeah.
for generations, bro.
Yeah.